Hello, rays of sunshine, hopeful game changers. I have something very important to talk about today. A message from God, which is everything that I do in truth. It is time to take things seriously because we are in the final days, the end of ways, okay? It is not the end of the world. It is not. But those that stay are those that can find true God again. Those that can rise out of the muck into the truth. Those that don't waste their time contemplating, waiting for proof, because in truth, it's right in front of you. So before I get into that, Spirit has called me Master Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am in truth an Ascension Master, a Master Healer, and a Divine Guide. In 2019, I had a Kundalini awakening, and things started happening to me and through me. And this whole entire channel you find this video upon is very important to understand. The whole channel. Every video on here, every video is truly the return of Christ playing out right in front of your eyes. I can't deny that, no matter how hard I tried. For when I had my awakening, God told me to allow myself to be myself. Accept every bit of who I was, and that was going to change the world. And then I was going to get to watch the world change. I didn't know what that meant, but I did it without waste and without haste and without judgment, without expectations. I just did whatever my heart nudged me to do all along the way. And in allowing myself to be myself was not easy. I thought it was just the healings I started to do, but it wasn't. It's not normal when I tell you I cleared Mount Shasta, which was not of light at all, hundreds of souls, and even in part 2, that's where I burned the fallen, Samael. He was the original fallen. It's not normal when I tell you I activated pyramids and I used my light to do it. These are not pyramids you've ever heard of either, from Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Peru, Thailand, and more. Congo, British Columbia, Mount Kilimanjaro, and I can keep going. Ecuador, they're all on this channel. Proven, recorded. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was a healer. I knew that. I woke up to that. And then God told me to start doing workshops. I didn't know what those were, but I did them. For everything God tells me to do, I do them without hesitation. And by doing that and standing in strength and love for my own twin flame union, and then the resurrection of Christ occurred right after that, and I didn't see it coming. You guys, there's so much more going on than meets the eye. So before I go any further, I'm going to tell you, if you want to comment on the videos, if they are love, I welcome them. If it is based in unconditional love and insight and purity of the heart and joy and celebration for the return of Christ, then please comment. Comment what you see, comment what you feel, and release the fear. Say, I release the fear. You can comment that below. I release the fear. I release the judgment and expectation. You can comment that below. But please don't comment anything negative. Do not allow your shadow to wreak havoc on you, because who I am is very real. And when you bring negative to this space, let alone any space at all, judgments are not of God at all, my friends, okay? And we have so many layers of the shadow that blinds. That was Mount Shasta, the false veil. So when you truly comment any form of your shadow below, it will hurt you. And if you do that on any channel, not just mine, make sure it's only love, okay? You don't have to understand. I would encourage you to watch the proof, because it's all right in front of you. Even on my Facebook page, we've been doing live healings, you guys. And in November of 23, on this channel, I told you that I did Revelations 21:13 after I dried the Nile, which was 21:12, because there's actually 13 gates. But in Revelations 21:13, what I did is I did the healing to repair the north, the east, the south, and the west back to the north. I had to fill it with Christ's light and shift the earth's equilibrium. I did that. And it's proven. That was Revelations 21:13. Okay, we didn't have all 10 people rise with me that were supposed to help in that. So some of it I had to do on my own, and the other ones that did follow the whole way through without letting their shadow stop them, because it tried, helped me do those. So I had to shift the north, the east, the south, and the west. I had to repair the west back to the north with Christ's light and shift the earth's equilibrium. Well, yesterday on my Facebook page, they did a healing, and those that actually heard the call and showed up, which unfortunately it's not as much as it should have been. I'm going to tell you why. Actually, we learned that if you don't have that healing, that upgrade, that adjustment of your equilibrium, you don't make it through the final portal, which is the Nile to the 13th gate, because this is the return of Christ. It does play out. You have 13 gates of testament to go through, because each gate will be testaments to God. Okay? Each gate will represent testaments in you of karma that you must cleanse. There's this massive healing that is involved, my friends. And the other day I told you even the 144,000 didn't rise enough. Very few are shining their light into the dome. I actually had to use the trees. That happened live on this channel too when I protected Israel not too long ago. I had to put a dome over Israel. Azrael has his wings spread over it. And I had to use the trees, fill them with Christ's light, and shove it into the dome through them. It was a beautiful experience and a healing. So what I'm going to tell you is what you think it should have been is not what it was at all. It's all right in front of you. And this is what God has to say. It is time to take things seriously. Very much so. Everything you are doing now, from the past to this moment in time, everything you do, from every choice to every hesitation, is a testament to God. Everything. To the true God. He's unconditional love, remember? He's not what they told you he is. What happened to Jesus is not what they told you happened at all. And all of that played out on this channel. The true resurrection occurred on this channel, and people... All God asks for is warriors of love to trust in the one who brought it about. It's not just Jesus. It was a masculine and a feminine, and it's all in this channel. That is all God asked, was that you trust in faith in the one who brought it about. Because your measurement to God goes through his direct descendants. That's why I tell you, don't throw judgment where you don't know you're throwing it at. Don't throw it at all. Any judgment is not of God, and I don't judge people. I removed the shadow, and I know what's coming. I know how much healing you have to do. I know how much it means that you have to take the steps without hesitation to what God puts in your heart to do. Your heart, unconditional love, and anything outside of that, my friends, is not of God at all. But because it was not through the lies of the forsaken, you let in the shadow and doubt, yet there is so much proof right here in front of you. And I channeled this morning. And all around you. So much proof. So much proof is on this channel. Even I couldn't deny. Not to mention it was my own life and my own awakening. And it was painful. And I almost died 3 times. They shattered my arm. My twin soul had to become a walk-in so that we could make it through the darkness. So I know how hard that shadow can fight you. Because it is a war. It's a warrior. It's a battle for your soul. And those that make it are those that choose unconditional love the whole way through. They choose to see beyond the illusion, and they choose to trust in a God that they know in their heart to be true, but not the one that they lied to you about. There's been so much proof right here in front of you, and not to mention all around the world. How can you deny it at this point? Your shadow can. The ego can, but not God. There would be no other option but to see it if you would just look. If you would just trust and open your heart and not allow the shadow to stop you and get in the way. You are allowing all the resistance to get in the way of what could have been the best decision of your life, hidden in disguise. For every choice is through free will and determines where you go. Some will go and some will stay. and others will never know life this way. For it's not the end of the world, but it is the end of ways outside of true God. And I have been saying that since 2019. We pushed and pushed for those to not take the V, but we can't force anybody. I have pushed and I have pushed to show people, look, I'm activating pyramids, and if you watch those videos, I crack the earth, fires start, things happen, water moves. Yesterday in my live, these are live and free healings on Facebook, I spoke of storms that are upon you, and then havoc went across the globe. Everything I say is unfolding right in front of you if you open your eyes. If you open your eye and your heart, and don't let the shadow stop you. Because all God asks is that we have faith in Him and the one He sent for you. But it's not just one, it was two. Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. And God is unconditional love. There is no judgment in His heart. We are all connected. So where you have judgment and haste and waste, and where you hesitate, is all the shadow. All of it. Judgment, the definition, should be non-existent. Do you understand? It is not something you should allow into your energy at all, because God is not judgment. There is no judgment there. And what you see is your shadow. The world around you reflects only what you can see. For you can't see anything that's not within you to see. That's why some people don't understand how others can harm people, because it's not in their heart to do it. That's the way the world works, my friends. So you are supposed to be using everything as a testament to God. Everything you do, every choice you make, or hesitation. For if you are not listening without hesitation, with urgency to God, you are letting in the shadow. We don't have time. It is now. All the work I did is all on this channel, and it's all done. Not only did I survive, I took us into 7D, so darkness can never affect us again. I have the most beautiful twin flame, the most beautiful union occurring right in front of your eyes, but I won't speak of it too much. It's sacred, and it's mine. I have worked very, very hard to awaken, to show the proof, to constantly put myself out there like God asked me to. And people's shadow get in the way, they hesitate, they don't move, and then they throw judgments, and they don't realize what that does. You guys, we've lost our way outside of love. This planet was commandeered, stolen, and lowered in vibration and changed in magnificent ways. And we've lost what love was. They even had you praying to a false god. Jesus didn't die on a cross. I don't know why this isn't being absorbed more, but it's because you didn't make it far enough yet. And we need to take this seriously, because we don't have time left. So much healing must occur so that you can see, because you only know when you know, you know? You have to heal enough beyond the illusion. It doesn't take one day of healing to see it all. It takes many upon many. For healing happens in layers. Everybody has shadow and karma to clear, because there's two components of the shadow. And I speak of this diligently. There's a collective one where judgments reside, and then there's an individual one where you created your karma. For karma is truly where you stepped aside of unconditional love. Going back to our childhood speaks of going back to a space before ego, before judgments, and all confusion took us from unconditional love, from joy, from our passion, from our heart's desires. Because God is in our heart. Home is where the heart is. And during the eclipse, after all the undoing of the darkness of the moon, all the undoing of the false eclipse that I did, the awakening of the sun and the expansion too, we called everybody home, my DM and I. And if you couldn't hear it in your heart space because of the shadow, I guess it's not your time to rise. Because some will go, and only some will stay. But it is through free will every way. And in the lives that I have been doing on Facebook is so beautiful. It is so awesome what is coming through. We've activated the Merkabah. We changed it to the new masculine's DNA. And then others are channeling that the next day. It's true. It's all there on my Facebook page. I did things with the sun and the moon where I brought it down into the earth, and the sun is expanding along with the moon, for they've both been rebirthed. And then huge flares occurred immediately after. It's true. But it's available to those that can see beyond the illusion, to see that it's actually true. There is truth right in front of your eyes. And then we learned that if you don't change your equilibrium to the new earth, she can't read your blueprint, and you won't make it past the gate of the Nile. For the Nile is the final gate. When it dries, there's no time left at all, and we're on our way. Indonesia, there was a volcano that erupted there the other day, and these are on my channel. You have to click the videos to watch them, but who does? They're actual workshops of the truth and the proof, and it's real. Indonesia, I activated a pyramid back in 2020, and that is now erupting. Kilimanjaro, I erupted 3 times when I activated it. That will unfold in your reality as well, but by the time you get there, it's almost done. Then came the Nile and more, and Horus returned. It's beautiful. Resurrection of Jesus and Mary Magdalene because they're twin souls. Undoing of the Holy Grail, which was not a cup at all. That's what they had her use to gather his blood when he was poisoned, and then they burned him. There's no grave. He was burned. I smelled his flesh burning when I freed his soul. And then my DM and I took those on, and it's right in front of your face. It's beauty. It's heaven. It's God's love. It's grace. And it's beyond what they told you. It's beyond what they so diligently raped you with day in and day out, and falsely controlled you with in every way. For you're truly all powerful, but the hesitations, the judgments, take you from God. For God asks you to have faith in him and to trust those heart nudges, even if they're faint, because the shadow gets loud and in your face. And even the 144, which were the twin flames, did not all unite through love. Some had to be removed from twin flame status altogether because they attacked me the whole way. So you guys, there's more here than meets the eye. And God is saying right now, it is time to take things seriously. Everything you are doing now and from the past to this moment is a testament to God. Everything. From hesitations to not hesitations to throwing judgments and saying, I'm not judging. It doesn't matter. The shadow is tricky. The shadow is tricky. It gets in your head, it gets under your skin, and it makes you do things you don't even see you are doing until it's too late. You must stand in strength and be a warrior to the testament of God and choose unconditional love. Are there false prophets? Yes, but I'm not one. Do you see millions on this channel? I wonder why. People will watch a video and their shadow stops them from the rest. And then they fall away. For only those that can stand the test of unconditional love will stay. So wake up today to the beautiful rays of sunshine and say it below. I am a ray of sunshine. I choose God all the way. Claim it. But don't speak of anything but love. Nothing. It's important. Please hear what I say. It's through your free will, though. You can do what you may, but know this is the end of ways outside of God. Know the true God. The anointing of the blood of Christ, I didn't just talk about it. I brought down the blood. That was before the resurrection on Christmas Day, not Easter. That's a lie. Christmas Day of 22, Christ Mass. Know the truth, my friends, because that is the only thing that's about to make it through. And if you're watching my live healings on Facebook, you can see that more and more, let me tell you. But even there, people are having a hard time getting through their shadow. It's way less than it was supposed to be. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There is way less than there was set to be because you're all a chosen one if you're here. You said to God, I'm the warrior. I'm here to change the ways, the game, and rise to God and bring my family ties with me. So much love to you all. Know what you're doing. Know what you're listening to. There's a lot of clutter and cluster out there that distracts you. God is subtle. He's in those heart nudges, your gut. Not in the mind. Not in judgment. Not in ego. Judgment is not of God in any way. Everything is a reflection of you. That way you heal it, and you can choose through the testaments of God to love. And if God gives you an option and puts things right in front of you, it's probably because it was meant for you. But through warrior status, through willing to be judged and shamed and stand against those, because those are not of God. And that's the only way to change it. That's what I had to do. Allow myself to be myself, accept every bit of who I was, and change the world, and then watch it change. And I am now watching it change. I allowed myself to be myself. So everything that came up, it would come up and I'd be like, no way, that can't be real. How am I this? How am I Jesus and Mary Magdalene? How am I Adam and Eve? How am I Sekhmet and Horus, me and my twin flame? How did I even have a twin flame? All of it was like, what? And it was all unfolding to me and through me, because it was my lifetimes. So you don't know until you know. And all God asked of you was to believe in the one that brought it all about. And not the lie, not just a man, me and my DM. Watch the videos. On the eclipse, we spoke through the sun and the moon. That's why there are depictions of that being Judgment Day. It's who heard the call in their heart, not who comes on and throws judgments our way. Because that's your shadow. Don't allow it to do that. Choose love. Put in the comments, I choose love. But keep all negativity at bay. That is the challenge. Can you rise to it? There's no more time, my friends. There's so much healing that needed to be. And I didn't even realize that if you don't change your equilibrium with the workshop that I did, you can't do it on here. But there's a free healing on there if you're ready. But most were not. You won't make it through the final gate. You have to evolve into the new earth through all the work that I did. It's true, and it's being proven every day. And I literally said in that video live yesterday that there's storms are brewing. I see lightning, I see dark clouds, and then I wake up today and oh boy, clouds unleashed. I also said there's a big flood coming. It's karma, for God didn't cause the flood when Eve died. That snuffed out the light. Know what's right. It is time to take things seriously. So much love. Until next time, rays of sunshine. For if you know who Sekhmet is and what I've done, that'll make more sense. Till next time, have a beautiful day.